Hello,
Yo,
how we doing?
all good, bro. All good. How you doing?
I'm good.
We'll give it a minute or so for people to join, and then we can start. I don't think Alex is awake to retweet.
Posted in my channel. Also on Twitter. Good bounce from BTC.
Someone just said no sound, but I can see that there is sound. So
Let me check. I'll check if there's sound.
yeah, do you want to have a look?
Yeah, there's sound.
Okay. Probably just weren't speaking yet. Oh yeah, he says he
Number
yeah no.
one fan.
Where's that? Top
I don't
top
know.
fan.
Top
I guess
follower.
I guess people like get stuff on YouTube for messaging. Yeah, decent bounce on BTC. I had limits at 104 700, which unfortunately just got front run a little bit overnight. But I think there's actually still um, potential to get back down there. What do you think?
Um, I could see us move back to like 105, 500 maybe. If we reject like that daily trend line which we've been under
Yeah,
since late May. Because it's basically just heading for that trend line again, right? So as long as we don't flip that, I'm just gonna assume we're gonna keep ping pong inside this range.
yeah,
But this is a very good reclaim setup as it stands right now.
yeah. That's the thing.
Like,
The bounce has been pretty strong, right?
hmm
So we have to consider. In fact, I mean, to be honest, it did retest like that daily demand or the daily breaker. So, in terms of a logical place to bounce, it was a good place to bounce. But I was more specific with my entry, trying to buy towards 104 700. So I was a little bit, probably a little bit too greedy in the fact that maybe last night, given price was close to my entry, I probably should have just market bought in. Um,
hmm
But yeah, I mean it's looking pretty good. The bounce has been solid. We've had a bit of a TWAP today. To be fair, like this PA to me is fairly clear that there's kind of this move during EU session, which historically EU sessions fairly low volumes compared to a lot of other sessions, is mostly probably like one or two entities buying. Like someone has got a fat TWAP on like this price action.
Yeah, it's a lot better than that TWAT which we had last week on Tuesday as well. Like that was like super mega choppy, like when we went from let's say
Oh
105
yeah.
till 107. And now it's just like straight up in 2H for candles.
Yeah, it's basically the same area really. That is that
hmm
the TWAP's being done. Um, just in that occasion, it sort of happened through New York into Asia, and this week obviously it's happened through EU. So, but yeah,
What
go on.
go on.
I was just gonna say this sort of like bear flag has decent potential now. For me, like 105 was the place to hold. Maybe I'm thinking for the sake of my entry, oh, like we could go back down to 105 again because I wanna get long, and that's where my long is. But I'm unsure. I think we're best to see how New York opens today. Best to see how we sort of react into this region. If we can get above 108, I think I would be inclined that the low is in at this point. 108 is probably the key area to flip. If we like full V shape back above 108, then there's probably a good chance that this just continues to trade towards 110, really.
Yeah, if we flip 108 like you're saying and we invalidate that H for bear div or that H for tree drive,
Yeah.
then I might have to shove aside my bearish bias entirely. And then we're likely just hopefully going to break out towards all-time high for summer and not just chop all summer, right?
Yeah.
So either way, good times ahead, I think. Ideally, just break out. If we reject 108, then likely back to 105 and maybe lower. Right?
Yeah, it's important that we remember that we're still like range bound, despite these like
Mm-hmm.
intraday swings. Like it's important to remember that we are in a range, and like for a breakout, to be honest, like to confirm the breakout, we need a good move above 110. Like 110 is the place to flip above, to
Yep.
confirm a breakout. But yeah, I had some nice fills on BTC last night. I'm buying BTC daily until end of August at 11:30 UTC every evening. So I filled some BTC at the bottom last night. 11:30 seems to be a pretty good time to buy. It seems like it's kind of like the low of the day a lot of the time. I back checked it for a little bit of data and from trusty Brock as well. Like a few things that told me that on average the highest chance of the low being in for the day or the lowest price of the day was around 11:30. So that's kind of just optimizing that area. But yeah, this looks good
Yeah,
if we can lock in the higher low, right?
I think you will outperform most people as well by doing what you're doing with your daily BTC bias.
Yeah, that's the
Because you're
plan.
just, yeah, sort of overthinking it, trying to get that perfect entry. This
Like
usually works best.
yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? I like my bias. Like I'm completely convinced that we can trade to at least 140k this year. And if things can get really bullish, I believe that 200k is entirely possible by end of Q4 into Q1. So like I don't understand why I should be set. Well, I feel like this is a mindset a lot of people have. Like if you have a strong bias, unless you're trying. Obviously, yesterday's case is different with my a long that was looking to 104,800. This is more of like a leverage play. So obviously with leverage, I'm trying to like optimize my entry. But in terms of a
Yeah.
bias and buying Bitcoin, right? It's like I don't know why my mindset should be, oh, I should only buy at a specific price. Like realistically, I'm expecting upside this year. So why should I give myself a drawdown and focus on one price when I should just buy, over a period of time? It just makes sense
Yeah,
to average in.
100%. Especially right now with summer
Yeah,
chop usually happening.
this guy's come into the chat shilling his plan. Lean in neutral
It's
to
like
bearish
a
short
bunch.
term.
It's like a
What's that?
bunch of wood spots alerts going off almost.
Yeah, I've noticed that there's a few people in my Twitter comments who actually reply, and you can clearly see they're just AI replies. It's really bizarre, actually. I don't know what the game plan is, right, for AI replies.
No, me neither.
But yeah, 110. 110 pretty important to flip. If we can get above 110, then I'm pretty sure we break out in July, and we see a nice like rally through July. Like after all, we were discussing this on stream yesterday, right? I was dropping my bullish hopium, but the past two times the dollar broke down under 99 was into summer, right? So it was back in May, June 2020, and then also in April, May, June 2017. In both occasions, BTC went on to put on this crazy like move. And in this period as well, if you want to pair this with the total 3, we can triple stack this chart. Let's go and pair it with the total 3. Obviously, the total 3 we don't have too much historical data to work with, but it's what I've been saying for a while now. I believe that at some point, we will get a decent alt run. It won't be as good and as like ridiculous as prior cycles have been, but in terms of where we are in the timeline, I think the mindset of people has always been way too far ahead in terms of people were trying to buy spot way too early on alts, and like have been trying to get overexposed to alts when at the end of the day we are still in phase 1, which is pretty mad because obviously we've been up only for BTC for almost 1,000 days now, like up only on the higher time frame. What do you think about this scenario?
I would like it to happen finally. I mean,
Yeah.
I can get behind it purely because of the fact that all these coins that haven't performed except for memes, right? Because the only thing that has performed have been memes. They need some type of exit liquidity. So if it's gonna happen, it's gonna have to happen like right now in the final half of the year. Let's say in the final 2 quarters of the cycle, maybe even in the final quarter as we're entering that. So if it doesn't happen now, then likely a lot of big guys are also going to get wrecked and removed from the space. So for me, it's a bit of a do or die situation where we need to almost just pump all the VC coins and all the coins that haven't performed. Like obviously, if BTC breaks out, fart coins going to perform, and what other coins have there been? Like SPX probably does well, but in
Pengu
terms of the
probably.
other alts, yeah, Pengu, they've just been very rotational, right? And I've been saying this for a while, that the fact that it's been so rotational has also been super detrimental to total 3 and others and all the other indexes. Like you can just see it in the chart that it's just rotations in and out, in and out.
Yeah. It's literally earlier what happened,
Maybe
right?
it's different now.
With my Pengu long, so longed Pengu earlier with the group, and literally at 11:20, because I was also watching Fartcoin. Like I thought Fartcoin was a good setup today, but you can basically see as soon as Fartcoin started to move up, like Pengu instantly started to rotate down. Like we're just still seeing like rotation of liquidity. It's just classic summer price action, to be honest. Let's do.
Oh, nice.
And until we get that BTC breakout, we probably won't get like strong rotations, you know, like standard rotations. Yeah.
Yeah, you need the BTC breakout here, ideally, like 110K.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I guess the good thing is if you know where to look, there's always been something good to trade from the long side as well. this cycle.
Yeah,
But you need to
always.
be very careful with what you're buying.
Facing strong movers.
Hmm.
It's more so just like kind of looking at BTC, right? For example, like if you were set on 105 to 104.8 bouncing, right? You you know you want to note what was strong during this move up, right? Like remember what was strong
Yep.
during this move up, and then when we get that pullback, you look at just buying into those alts when you get that region. It's almost as simple as that, and sell the bounce, right? Because I still believe that we are far from, or not far, but I still believe as of right now you should be focusing on like intraday trading, um,
Yep.
and locking in profits on intraday on alts. And then if we get something like this on BTC, this is when you can start looking at swings. But anything that's happening in here, you just take your profits and run. It's as simple as that at the moment.
Yep.
You said the screen's blurry. The network's fine.
For me it's fine.
Network. Or like we were discussing on stream yesterday, right? 97. I think if we get 97 down to 94 in summer, right? Let's just say we do the exact same thing as we done last summer, right? Where we flag, we like
Yeah, that
sort
would
of
be a point
flag
of
out.
going all in.
Yeah. Like we flag out into 97 to 94. I think that's like an all-in point. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 108 now is important to hold. I mean, for the sake of my spot bids as well, I hope we go down to like 97 because I can just average in all the way. But flagging above like all-time high, flagging above like a all-time high and range high is just, it's like, it's mega price action, to be honest. It's like the most bullish price action you can get. Like flagging is
Mm-hmm.
good, but then like flagging, above like all-time high, like that's just like some of the best PA you can get, really.
Yeah, I
Not,
really wouldn't mind that move into 97K.
it would be nice, right? But I mean, given the bounce we've just seen from 104, like it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be quite difficult to go under there. Obviously we never say never, but I'm still gonna probably look at buying into 104.8 if we can get it. But yeah, as soon as we lose 105, 104, then we would consider downside. But I think for now it's safe to say that we should like look for a higher low into this region, right? I think that makes sense.
Yep.
Like I'm completely with your bias in the fact that like 97 is good, but I would be confident that this area is going to hold for now, and potentially give
It
us
should
that
hold for
leg up.
now.
Yeah,
Otherwise, otherwise you can already count for an extra 20 days of chop, to put it that way, right?
yeah.
Which isn't great.
So do you think it actually flipped the 108 without strong spot buying? It seems like this move is perps. I mean, we probably need a decent bit of spot, and yeah, I think a lot of the move is been perps today, and then maybe sailor buying. Like this is kind of giving me sailor vibes. Like this TWAP. Like some sort of entity is buying like with this price action.
Probably Sailor, right?
Yeah.
It's always Sailor. My Vela won't open. What's going on?
I mean, got actually decent amount of shorts up here. Piling in, to be fair. If we get above 108, we're probably just going to continue to squeeze to 110, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah, 109.8-ish.
The OI move is interesting.
Yeah. No 2Bs here.
Hello, 2P.
See you, bro. Yeah, this stream will be like uploaded to my YouTube after it's done, so you can head there to watch it. This is actually a bit of a difficult region for price now to get above. I think if we can get above this 107, 800, 108k region, we're probably just going to continue to squeeze the 110, to be honest.
Yep.
I actually wouldn't mind a scenario of getting long around 107, 300 for a scalp. I think that could be quite a nice area to look at a new position on BTC.
That makes sense.
Into this region, I think maybe.
You have a small demand zone there now on the 30-minute as well. If this low time frame bear div on BTC plays out, you probably get 107. Go long there. We're moving to 108.
Or some continuation, I think, yeah, 107, 400, 107 down to 107, 150 looks like the place to continue if we're going to continue to squeeze up today. 107.
Yeah, you don't want to cleanly retest 106 here, I think. It's a bit too obvious.
I think if we went back down to 106, we'd probably end up running the lows again.
Yeah. And you might get that.
Get Eli on the stream? Eli's too famous for us, bro. He's probably on a beach somewhere. Sunbathing. Long in shit coins. Yeah, we have some nice volume towards 107 300s, I think. That looks like a nice place for maybe a little bit of a scalp, so we'll keep an eye on that region. Been a while since I've seen such an aggressive move / flow like this, to be honest. Somebody who wants all the Bitcoins.
Yeah, usually just slow grind, right? Yeah, not bad. I was looking at Celestia this morning because I saw some news coming out on it. Them updating some stuff. It could be a good long for like a squeeze at some point. Yeah. But it's so cursed that I'm just super hesitant to touch it, to be fair.
Look. Yeah, Tia's cursed, man. I gave up trying to trade this coin.
Mm.
I think there was 2 occasions. I think I bought the breakout from this long-term range, and then I think I actually longed this sort of price action into the lows. Well, I actually took losses on both of these occasions.
I had 1 or 2 successful TIA trades. All the other ones were losses.
Fairly sure my tier is still staked somewhere.
Generational bull run.
Yeah. This is cooks, bro. I would not touch this coin. In before, this is generational bottom, but yeah, I would not. I would not touch this. You're actually considering long
What
here? What do you
else
say?
do
There's
we?
some news for it. Did you say there was some news for it?
There was some news for it. They're updating the emission schedule, which should reduce inflation and stuff like that. You're basically going off the fact that it's not breaking the current lows. But
Yeah. It
I
front
don't
run
think
that
I
low.
can be bothered touching it.
4 hours potential, or daily has a potential breakout on it. Still capped in this downtrend though. Which
Yeah.
coins we doing today? I like Pengu, although like it's kind of just I'm probably not going to trade this anymore until we see something new. I longed it this morning. I was looking for a bit of a V shape, and I mean it just flushed out again. Had a really nice flush this morning with a lot of licks coming in and decent volume into the lows. So I was sort of expecting it to just like grind back up and break out, but it's just rolled again. And the problem is these high volume node POC levels, they have a good hit rate on price. So this high volume node, you can see the amount of volume that's being done into this area. So a lot of the time I like to trade these on like a first time back basis. But the more we chop around this area, the less interest I kind of have in it. Because it becomes like just like a rangy PA and not much of a trend. So yeah, I gave this a couple attempts at trading into this POC. One yesterday, and then again this morning. I think at this point we probably just wait on a breakout and try and catch the breakout on it above 0.016. We've already had that first attempt, which like flushed out a bunch of longs, and we can see that for this morning, right? Now I kind of want to see another break above here, and it should just gap higher. But we can see the void in volume above, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pepe. I haven't looked at Pepe in a while.
Okay, looks alright if it can hold these recent lows. I mean, it still has a lot of work to do, but
Yeah. I mean, something like this, right? If you want to like try and essentially get like an easy breakout trade on it, just wait until BTC, let's say BTC gets a breakout above 108, 110, and just wait until Pepe basically gets the breakout as well and invalidates this structure. Like this structure is bearish. I've spoken about this a lot, but just simple simple structure, right? So what happens is you can just see here, right? We get support, price breaks down, forms a new support, bounces, retests price support, breaks down, right? Forms support, bounces, retest price support, breaks down, right? Forms support, forms support, retest price support, breaks down, right? And then again, we've got support here, and now we're currently retesting price support, right? So what you basically want to do is wait until this sell side structure, yeah, gets invalidated. So you have a nice potential of a breakout here as well. That if Pepe basically locked in a breakout and reclaimed this price support area, which we know historically rejected, you could probably get a breakout, right? And like I said, tie it in with BTC getting above 108, 1010, then you could probably look at an entry on Pepe. But until then, I would probably wait for it to sort of bottom into July. I realistically, could you see it breaking down under 0.008 again? I'd say no.
No, you don't want that, right?
No. So like if it locked in maybe some nice momentum divergence here, like going into July, right? Let's say alts continue to bleed in July and we don't get that breakout, then look for a bit of a bottomy structure into July, into August on Pepe, and then sort of like buy into this support really once you see like a nice momentum divergence on the RSI and the awesome oscillator. That's my favorable option, right? Unless we get that breakout like I just discussed and you see that shift in structure. But for now, I wouldn't worry too much about trying to long into this structure. You can see it basically identical structure last year. Earlier this year, sorry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Support, breakdown, support, breakdown, support, breakdown, support, right? Reject, 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 reclaim, pick up.
It's basically ETH.
Yeah. ETH was actually a really good example.
I mean, Sol
as well.
Sol as well now. Now, yeah. Before, no, but now, yeah.
Oh, my bot warned someone.
Yeah. Roxy for using caps.
Roxy. Yeah, ETH was a good example last year. Right. It was textbook. I was discussing this in the group at the time, and basically just said, wait until this structure gets invalidated, right? And then finally it invalidates it, right? We can see like constantly rejecting that price support area, rejecting. Oh, this one reclaims, and then you can see the move, right? So, and then also you got that classic like meme line as well, like I just discussed. Meme line structure change, like it's fairly simple entry with good conditions. Oh, nice. We're getting a bit of a pullback here. Let's see if we can get a little trigger into 107s. A little long. Is fixed volume profile good also? Yeah, you can use fixed volume profile. This one, yeah, you can use this. So the volume profile I was using shows you all the volume on your screen. So this is showing me the volume profile for when price enters the screen to the current market price, right? So you could still do that on the fixed range volume profile, right? It will give you the exact same volume profile. If we draw it from there to there, we can see it's identical, right? Block is here, high volume node, right? It's identical. You can use that chart, yes. All right, let's bait some shorts down here, and maybe we can bounce back up, rejecting from that composite value area high. I reckon if we don't hold 107, we're going back down to low 105s again. So
Yeah, for sure. Easy.
easy squeezy.
Especially since it's London session, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think the move was so aggressive. Just like fairly, it was on fair. Like EU session's been pretty dead lately, to be honest, volume wise.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
you know, it was just eating up the order book. Whoever was buying.
Sam's back, please.
Sam's in prison, longing.
The other Sam.
Tribuco.
Yeah.
What's he up to nowadays, anyway?
Sailed off into the sunset on his $50 million yacht.
Crazy. Crazy. Can't believe he got out.
Could have been me.
Like,
yeah, he probably ratted, you know.
oh yeah. He tipped him off.
And it's very hard to believe.
Although I feel like it started with CZ.
Maybe, yeah. He would also rat, for sure. I don't trust that. I don't trust him either, you know. He's like that guy in school who pretends he's nice, you know, but he'll still fuck you over whenever he gets the chance.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, we are getting some shorts coming in here, so. Ethan needs to get above 2,500 still. Like, it's just struggling to get back above there. Like, what did it actually do overnight? Oh my god. That's 4%. What did BTC do? It bounced more than BTC, so.
Not sure if that's a good thing.
Hmm. Well, as long as it doesn't make
So
fresh
I'm
highs,
scared.
then we'd be alright.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think about SPX here? The not the meme coin, the index, TradFi index.
That move higher was actually so clean. Like just the way it reclaimed 5200 and then 5800. I mean, the way it's moving. Oh, the next like key area is like 6150 probably. Maybe it does a similar thing. Basically, all reclaims is it's
Mm-hmm.
like sort of rolled, retest, reclaim, rolled, test. I would assume that we're going to catch up at some point. But I guess the difference is, right, was
We
that
should.
the S&P 500 only just made fresh all-time highs above the February all-time highs when, we'd done that back in May. At the time, back in May, the S&P was still trading 3% lower. So, maybe we were just a little bit ahead of stocks after all. But I would assume that we're still gonna leg
We
up.
front ran it a bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we front ran it a bit here.
I mean, the M2 10-week lead is still looking insane. Like it just made fresh highs yet again. So that projects us like into like still rallying into August on BTC making fresh highs. Just wild.
Fresh eyes in August, please.
Yeah, that put us around 120s plus. A 10-week lead now, end of August. 120k. Crazy. XRP dropping. Let's take a look.
Yeah, alts are still pretty sensitive. I think XRP can go to 205 if BTC doesn't break out. If it does, then it likely goes to 270, right? But
XRP dropping.
doesn't.
It's down 0.6%. What time frames do some people like look at? They must be like sucked into 30-second chart.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Because it's the same price as Monday. Voice break. All right, we're getting some alerts. Go here. Let's see.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Why is still ramping up though?
Yeah, we're getting some shorts piling in as usual. This is, yeah, it's pretty wild. Let's see this. 107,277 is probably the level. Watch here. And if not, we pray for my fills back at 104,700. Okay, well, we filled the SP, moved into the volume POC now, so not a bad place to bounce from here, to be honest.
You think we'll ever get volatility again like 2021? Or is that done with the ETFs? I've been thinking about it.
As in on BTC?
BTC, alts, everything actually.
I would say most of it's dead. I would say most of the volatility is dead, personally. On BTC, I said that start of 2024. That was like my main fear was the fact that ETFs were gonna pair us more and more with traditional markets, and I feared for the lack of volatility that we're gonna get. And I mean, we've seen that, haven't we?
We did that, just that, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I do believe like we'll get volatility swings, like we'll get good volatility on like a breakout. Like if we get 110k breakout on BTC, like that'll be a place where, you know, we start to see a lot more of action and like trades between hands. So I think volatility, but while we're in range, while we're in summer, like definitely volatility is going to be a lot lower.
Mm-hmm.
277
Yeah, I
peak
can
of
get
on
behind
flow.
that.
I was trying to find can't remember where I saw it, but volatility is still is like an all-time low on BTC.
Since when?
There we go. Tree.
Uh-huh.
Um, log scale. So all-time BTC volatility right now trading at all-time high is at bear market levels. Much.
Okay.
Almost
That's pretty
all-time
nuts,
low.
to be fair.
The last time it was that low was August 2023.
Yeah.
How do I screen this? This was a nice place. 277's bouncing. Like this is the area to bounce, but I wasn't a massive fan of this low personally. I didn't get as much volume as I'd like into that low. So maybe we missed the
We
entry,
still
but
have
we'll
some
see.
time.
Yeah. But this is the area to hold now if we're gonna probably continue for the day. I can't zoom in for some reason. Or like full screen.
Like usually when we move up aggressively, you at least get a 30-minute, like that 30-minute drive during New York Open. You usually get a dip, so that could give another entry potentially in like 1 hour and a half, let's say.
Hmm. But yeah, the last time volatility was this low was June last year, August
Yeah,
2023, and then yeah, like bear market lows.
that's logical.
And then back in 2020, back in June, funny enough, June 2020, it is like it's always into June really, and then again, look, bear market lows, bear market lows. So let's hope volatility can go up only from here. But overall, I mean, you can see since the ETF started trading back in January, like technically volatility has been down only. So
No fun allowed.
yeah, probably above 110 we'll get some volatility expansion off there, but till then.
Yeah, there's some into the lows or into the highs. Other
Yeah.
than that, probably not much. If we get to those.
Yeah,
108,
July
700 as
2020,
well.
March 2019. Most of the bottoms that come tend to be on vol spikes, to be fair.
Yeah, that makes sense
March,
actually.
yeah. March 25, November, obviously that was Trump. August 2024, December 2022, massive vol spike.
Vol spike and like volatility and volume. You combine both of them, you usually have a good bottom, right?
Yeah.
And to some logical level that gets like deviated. That's at least how I've been trading them.
Very greed looking. 6. Too bad. 108, 200 resistance. Yeah, 108 is 107.8 to 108 is probably the key area now. Equally is this 107 300 area. I think for some intraday continuation we should hold around here. I'm kind of looking for a scalp long from here. Something like along the lines of this really. But I'm not in yet just yet.
Yeah, we need to hold this.
WAGMI Wednesday, yeah.
WAGMI Wednesday.
Let's look at some altcoins
Other
before we
WAGMI
wrap up the
Wednesday, I
stream.
don't want it.
Oh damn, Sir had quite a nice bounce. We done the classic monthly open sell-off into maybe monthly open pump. Discussing that on stream yesterday.
Yeah. I still wouldn't mind a little bit lower.
To be fair, if this 4-hour close,
bearish.
yeah, if this 4-hour close is bad, probably this could easily be a dead cut bounce. Yeah. I could easily see this rolling if we don't hold this. If we don't hold this 107,300 area, I'm definitely considering that we can bleed back out down to 104,700 and fill my position.
Yeah, today will be interesting. Well, every day is going to be interesting, actually, until we break out.
Yeah, just TP your positions and run. Look in your gains. Your entries aren't generational, as a famous cat
Take
once
profit.
said. Stop round tripping your generational entries.
Flex jinxed us. What did Flex say?
Wow, BNB with a 10% bounce. It actually done something for the first time in over a month.
It's so slow, it's crazy.
Yeah. I need to delete some of these shitters off my watch list, to be honest.
They said this time is different. Yeah, that's a jinx. Yeah, I only have Sol, SPX, and Bartcoin and Hive in my altcoin list now.
I haven't updated this for a while. Trump is cooked, man. That motherfucker really topped
Another
us.
successful exit scam.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he did fucking top us. Craziness.
What do you think about syrup short here?
Syrup for a short. Let's have a look, shall we? It's basically, I basically did a trade right. I think if you can get a 56, 57 retest, I would short it, yeah. Well, actually, this region where it is right now also. It's just you're running a bit of a wider stop. But that H4 structure does not look good until it reclaims it.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe if we done something like this, I would take a short here.
What's the market cap on it?
Potential bearish retest on it though.
Same plan.
Okay, no.
Let me send you my chart.
This time is different. Motherfucker. What's this chart? Yeah, and this level goes all the way back to that high from back on the 19th, 18th, 19th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see.
Oh, all of that Roxy guy's messages were getting muted.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I still see two of them.
Oh, he was just spamming emojis, but for some reason, I was spamming emojis and talking in caps. I'll have to fix that. Poor guy.
That's pretty funny, I'm not
Man
gonna
just
lie.
wanted to. Oh, he was spamming caps. To be fair, let's make session energetic. RG. PA still respecting the flag, yeah, isn't it? For now. For now, James.
For now, yes. Is that James? Intense Gamer 999?
Yeah. He's definitely had that account name since he was like 10 or something.
Yeah. Oh, there is Roxy again. Still typing in full caps as well.
Yeah, not convinced in this bounce yet to try and get long on BTC. Convinced.
It's just gonna chop, isn't it? For now. I'll chop till it isn't.
Look at that.
Since he becomes like 15 years old.
Yeah, I thought so. Little intraday dip. Trap some shorts. I reckon we could probably try, if we got like a little reclaim above here, I reckon we could try a scalp long. Something like wherever
Above
the
where?
low is.
Sorry.
Just above this like 107,500 level. This little 5-minute
Yep.
support. I think if we locked in like a little reclaim of there, I reckon it can leg up again. Test into the 108s. Like this was the level to hold, but I didn't exactly get much of a trigger into there, so I'm happy to try and long on a reclaim. Yeah, for sure, James. That's what I'm saying. I think this 107,300 area is really important today to hold. If we don't hold 107,300, I'm pretty sure we like unwind back down to 106, maybe even down to fresh lows again. Depends if that entity is done buying or not, I guess. Set some alerts for this reclaim.
The syrup looks like a really clean bearish retest, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Right, you want to call that a stream, by the way? Do you need to hop off or?
I need to eat, but I don't need to. I'm not in a rush.
Okay, we'll stream till quarter past
If
then. If
there's some
yeah,
short requests, we can go over them.
yeah, if you guys got some chart requests, we can take a look at some chart requests and then we can hop off after that. Yeah, get some food before New York Open.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of my intraday outlook now. I might as well wrap up until people send some chart requests, but we get a little low time frame reclaim above 107,500. I think we can try and take a long, and target 108s, maybe even as high as 109,500. It's possible, but overall, yeah, this whole area 107,300 is really important to hold. I think if we fail to hold 107,300 today, we can look at unwinding back down to 106, maybe even as low as 105, where I have my spot, my long bids right now, 104, 700. This is definitely at risk of being a bearish retest if we close bad up here. What's your thoughts?
If we don't flip 108k, then I'm gonna have to treat this as a bearish retest. And we could easily go back to 105k firstly. And given the amount of OI that build up, I wouldn't see it as something crazy to go like to 103, 104k. If we do flip 108 or 109, then I should shove aside all my bearish bias, basically.
Yeah.
A pretty interesting New York session coming up. Like, I feel like I want to short a lot, but also the PA is just so sluggish from both sides that I don't really feel comfortable in taking any position, any directional position, that is. So a bit annoying, really.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward
Typical
spot,
summer
really.
PA.
And yeah,
Yeah, other than that,
105s is important, isn't it? 105s is important to hold. Otherwise, you're probably going to see a much deeper unwind down to 98 over July. So I think looking for fresh swing longs into 105s again is a good place. Maybe we can sweep this low and then bounce again. And obviously, obvious cases above 110, then we should get that breakout. But anything that happens in the middle, treat this as a range, treat it as a bracketing environment, and obviously wait for expansion either side for further price action.
yeah. XRP BTC looking good. Yeah, XRP BTC looks pretty good.
You were looking
Better
at
than
BTC charts yesterday,
better
weren't
than
you?
all other BTC charts, yeah. And then you have Aave looking alright, and other than that, there's nothing else worth paying attention to. If I'm gonna be honest.
You not think this just looks extra good because it's one of the only BTC pairs that managed to get a good move up in November, December?
Yeah, that's also possible. It could just be chopping around. I mean, it's also just because there's not that much XRP sellers. They're just cult holders.
It's true. XRP has been holding well, like despite the market, though. One of the
Yeah.
one of the only altcoins that's like continue to hold a somewhat support over a long period of time.
Like, it looks better than Sol, for example.
Oh yeah, it's way better than Sol. Like if we look at where XRP is compared to Sol, XRP back in, December 31, we're still holding this. December 31st, we're still holding the same low, and compared to Sol, we've already broken down
Yep.
bearish retest to that, and even lower, we're 20% under that low. Okay, doesn't seem like there's any chart requests. We'll call that a stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you check out the
Yes.
group. There's 20% off at the moment if you're not already in the group. So make sure you go and join up. If not, potential for a pretty good July if things go to plan. Thanks for joining, bro.
Hopefully. Thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for inviting me, Pat. And see you guys next time. Have a good week.
Yep. See you, bro. Have a good week. Bye bye.
See ya. Bye bye.